session.
Welcome back to Court is in Session, your go-to spot for NBA basketball in the bubble, outside the bubble, all around the NBA, presented by Caps on Sports. I'm Anthony. I'm joined alongside Nick. Nick, how you doing?
You know, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. This bubble season has been very good basketball. It's been a lot of offense.
It's been really good basketball. A lot of offense. We're getting into the playoffs now, so let's see if guys, start ramping up on the defensive end of the floor. But let's get in some news and notes. And I'd be wrong if I didn't start with Dame, who I have in my notes here as a man on fire. Right? He is absolutely on fire in the bubble.
I just want to point out, at our first podcast, we did buy and sell. We bought a team. We bought a player. I bought a player. I bought Damian Lillard. And this is the reason. First Blazers player to go back-to-back 50-point games. He dropped 61 points last night. The guy is scorching hot.
He's on fire. He's absolutely on fire.
He said on that interview yesterday after the game, well, I didn't come to go home or
quote, I packed for the entire 3 months.
Dude, the guy's a beast. I mean, 3-point range.
So
unreal.
let me read you his stats here. 37. This is all in the bubble. 37 points per game, 9.3 assists per game, 4.4 rebounds per game, a steal.
What's he shooting from three? I want to know.
48% from the floor, 41% from three, 89% from the free throw line. And I read a stat today that I'm pretty sure said that he was 97% after he missed those 2 free throws against the Clippers.
It's just been absolutely crazy. And the tear pretty much started after that Clippers game, after PG and Pat started going at him.
Well, it really put him – he was obviously – I mean, I just read the stats. Like, obviously he's been on fire in the bubble. But when you get clowned like that by Pat Bev and Paul George, after what Dame has done specifically to Paul George in the past, but he's knocked, and he said it too, he's knocked both those dudes out of the playoffs. So he just, he was getting clowned. He didn't like it. He responded. And now he's popping off. Now everybody's on his
I know we on one of our Caps on, probably our last Caps on podcast that we did with you, me, and Stick. We tried to name our top 5 NBA players and top 10 NBA players. And I tried to listen. I threw Damian Lillard in there, and I was getting backlash about it. He's got to be.
I'll eat crow here. I gave you a lot of backlash because I said I would rather Chris Paul than Dame Lillard. I don't know
Chris Paul, yes, as a team player, but to win a basketball game,
right?
In that fourth quarter, I want Dame Lillard. I don't want Chris Paul. Just because Chris Paul makes the team better.
Right. If I want to win a game, I'll probably take Dame and hope he gets hot. If I want to win an entire 7-game series, maybe I'll take Chris Paul.
The thing with Dame is Dame gets hot in the fourth quarter, whether he'll be ice cold going into the fourth quarter, and then that's it. He just gets hot. He'll take those threes. He knows how to draw the fouls on the 3-point line too.
He's always going to get a bucket. Like he can pull up from the logo, like it's like nickname Logo Lillard, right? Obviously, he can pull up from the logo, but he can make it from the logo, right? And if that's not falling, regular 3-point might. If that's not falling, he can get to the rim at will, right? Like he is a phenomenal basketball player.
Listen,
and he's
in general,
here. He's trying to get
that team. I think that Portland Trailblazers team is going to give. I think they're going to make the 8th seed.
Well, they have to beat the Nets tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Okay, so they have to beat the Nets.
The Nets are 5-2 in the bubble, mind you. I'm just stating facts here. I'm not swinging one way or another. I'm just letting you know the Nets are 5-2 in the bubble.
Okay, and what are the Bucks?
The Bucks in the
Bucks
bubble.
the Bucks are like 2-4 in the bubble, 3 and
it's okay.
3.
Yeah, and
so I mean, we can talk records, but good teams are good teams.
Well, yeah, I'm just stating fact. I'm just letting you know the Nets are 5-2.
Listen, I'm just saying that when the playoffs come in, it's going to be the Lakers against. When it's Lakers, it's going to be Lakers. Portland.
Well, it's been a playoff game. It's been a playoff game for them for 7 games, right? where they basically had to win almost every single game to get a spot. And we'll get into different scenarios later. We have a bit in between here, but
Well, the East is set. The West is the other
yeah,
one.
the East is set. The West, there's still some shakiness going here. But Dame Lillard called the game against the Nets the most important game of their lives. And I can already tell you as a Nets fan, it's not going to be Dame going for 60. It's going to be Melo going for 40, and we're going to lose, and they're going to get in the playoffs. I'm telling you that right now.
Melo's going to go for 40?
Yeah, Melo kills us. Melo kills the Nets.
Listen,
Because
dude,
the Nets have the philosophy of, like, if you're going to take the mid-range, like, go for it. And Melo's just going to get in that mid-range spot. He's going to put whoever they throw at him in the post, and he's going to hit a turnaround in their face, and then they're going to start respecting it. It's going to leave someone else open, right? But
listen,
no, I
Dame's
think
not. Dame might go for 25, 30. I mean, he's not going to. They're not going to lose that game. I don't think he's good. CJ's also been playing pretty well. I mean, overall, Nurk has come back from his injury really well. He's playing really well. Their bench, Gary Trent Jr. is playing out of his mind. I've just been really impressed.
Gary Trent Jr. is in conversation for probably, like, I know they're saying they're doing, like, bubble teams, right? And it's kind of been played as, like, a joke, but the NBA is pretty serious about it. Gary Trent is probably in that consideration. Like, Gary Trent has been, like, not like, top 5 player in the bubble, but he's been a pleasant surprise. Like, he'll come in, lock down your best wing when they really don't have a dude that can, they don't have wings.
Did you watch that Portland Mavericks game yesterday? I watched the Portland Mavericks game yesterday, and it was a great game. I mean, the Mavericks are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Maybe not this playoffs, maybe next year when they get a little more experience. But I mean, that game had a playoff feel yesterday. I mean, in the last 2 minutes.
Well, they're going down. They're going down to the wire, hitting shots. Like Luka's hitting shots. Porzingis is hitting shots. Maxi Kleber was a man on a mission.
The West is.
And then there's obviously
right.
Dame.
Well, keep going on with the West. What we got next on our news?
Next we got. So I have Dame, man on fire. Next point, Suns made of fire.
Well, I mean, they are the Suns.
It is. Yep. Yep. Okay. Glad we got that out of the way. It made a good laugh when I was typing it up. But they are 7-0 in the bubble, right?
How?
Well, it's been a solid combination of getting high-level contributions from Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, right? Those dudes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't paid any attention to the Suns except for
right. I didn't realize that we did the podcast last week and they were 5-0, and we didn't mention them as most impressive team in the bubble. So I'm going to say now that I rescind that statement.
Yes.
And they are now the most impressive team in the bubble to me.
I mean,
7-0. But it's like I was saying, it's been a combination of getting major contributions from their guys, from Rubio, from Booker, from Ayton specifically. And a combination of teams resting their guys against them. But, like, you're 7-0 is 7-0. Like, I'm not going to nitpick, like, oh, this dude didn't play. Like, they're playing for it. The dudes that you put on the court.
Devin Booker, dude. Devin Booker is ice cold,
He's
bro.
Good. He's on fire.
He's really good at basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And, they keep talking, and I keep seeing the video resurface of him, in the gym. Was it last summer or summer before, yelling for getting doubles?
It was this past summer where he's in the gym and he's going, we're going to double and open runs. And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, word. And he's just like, is that the video you're, that's the video you're referencing?
It's just, I'm just real impressed just by what it's weird. And I know we've talked about, and I know everyone talks about how this bubble season, is so much different than the regular NBA season. It's still surprising to see the Suns 7-0. They're beating good teams. They beat the Clippers. They beat the Sixers. I mean, Sixers, most disappointing team. They lose Ben Simmons and stuff like that. I mean, obviously that's a big hit, but still they're beating the Sixers. Like, they're beating top teams, and they were 9.5-point favorites going into that game against the Sixers. I mean, they covered. I think they covered that game, which is crazy.
Yep.
I mean, the Suns, they should be the most surprising team. Devin Booker is playing out of his mind. It's pretty much just been him and Damian Lillard going off. Damian Lillard and James Harden have just kind of been popping off on the East. Everybody else has kind of been quiet. Suns get a lot of credit from me. And I know recently It's been all over social media, Sports Center, Bleacher Report, about how the Suns did that intro with all their family members. That was great. That
Yep.
was it was so wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the NBA is starting to bring people. They just said they're going to let visitors come in, which is great.
Yeah.
But seeing those intros is probably so good.
It's
It makes
probably
it better.
so nice for those guys to see. And, it kind of reinforces, like, it's little things like that I feel like maybe not star players latch to necessarily, but some dudes around the league, like, that probably resonates with them, right?
I think
Like,
I think it's got to be for everybody. I mean, not seeing anybody in your family, in your friend group, anything like that, for a month at a time is tough. I
mhm.
mean, like not being able to dap up your
Yeah,
boys and they have families, people have kids and
mhm.
stuff, not to see them. And to get
Yeah,
surprised like that is really something special. And you saw the
mhm.
reaction that everybody on the Suns had. And everyone
Right.
around the league was having, LeBron and
Everyone
AD.
loved it.
Everybody loved it.
Mhm.
It's great. It's so wholesome, and I'm real proud of the Suns for not only going 7-0, but for taking that extra step and
Yeah.
doing those.
I
Doing
hope
those.
they I hope they make the playoffs because, like, like I want to see a different matchup, right? Like, I want to
Mhm.
see different teams in there, right? Like, are they going to
Mhm.
roll up to? I was going to say roll up to LA, but are they going to roll up to the Field House in Orlando and play LA? Are they going to get swamped? Yeah, but it's something
Probably.
different. We get to see Devin
Yeah.
Booker in meaningful basketball games, like where we've seen Dame and we've seen CJ and we've seen the Trailblazers, right? And I want them in the playoffs too. And it just kind of stinks that the West is so, like,
Up there. Yeah.
stacked. But it's definitely an intriguing matchup if they get in. But
Listen, I want to see the Suns on national television because they
yeah,
haven't been on national TV all season,
and if they
all
don't if
bubble.
they don't make the playoffs, they have some very interesting pieces there. Like DeAndre Ayton, like, obviously you can look at it and be like, man, they should have took Luka, and I don't think anybody in the greater basketball realm is going to say no, you take DeAndre Ayton. Like, seeing what Luka does and him being a near MVP candidate, like, you take Luka probably like 100 times out of 100. But that's
Uh,
not to say that Ayton isn't a good player in itself. Like, he's drastically improved um, from his 1 year in Arizona to his year last year in Phoenix and into this year. He's gotten better,
yeah.
and they have Devin Booker, who is, now with Ricky Rubio, Booker's role now is to just, be less of a
But
facilitator
the
and more
ball.
of a scorer,
That
right? Ricky Rubio can get the ball to
the
anywhere.
Suns can Exactly, exactly. It's interesting to
Mm-hmm.
see how that team can kind of play. They kind of have to. I mean, they have to play through Booker. Who else are you going to play through? You
Mm-hmm.
can't really play through. I mean, Rubio can handle the ball going down the court, and
Mm-hmm.
sure they have Michael Bridges and I mean Dragan Bender and whatever. They have all these
Yeah,
role players, but again,
they don't have Dragan Bender anymore. Dragan Bender hasn't been on that team in like 3 years. They do have Cam Johnson, though. Cam Johnson, who was drafted 12th, 11th this year,
yeah,
and everyone was kind of like, why?
yeah, yeah,
But you know what he does? He makes shots. And, if you're gonna have a dude that you pick 11, at least he can score. You know what I mean? At least he can shoot the three. If that's all he brings to the table, which it's not, like, that's a good starting spot. You know?
yeah. I guess the Suns are doing better probably because it's not that home ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that home court, that away
Yeah,
court kind
less
of
less
mentality.
pressure, less distractions.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No,
Bridges lost everybody's best. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
well, no, I was just gonna say, about how going into this bubble season, it was pretty much all about seeing how role players are going to perform because, role players usually play better at home than they do away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is neutral site, so it's interesting to see how. I mean, Suns are full of role players at this point. It's interesting to
Right.
see that they're playing well. They're all getting along together, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you said before, they should absolutely be the most surprising team of the NBA.
I
If
feel
they won
like
this last game. I mean, going 8-0 in seeding games. I mean,
Mhm.
that's
I
unheard
feel
of.
like that's one of the closer knit teams in the league in the first place. Like, they call themselves the Valley Boys, right?
Uh-huh.
With Kelly Oubre and all that. But, like, now being together, like, now you really see that that's kind of like, I think it's paying off. But
Roll
I,
Suns.
I
Roll Suns.
I think that's enough on the Suns. Let's get into some scenarios here. So I'm going to read through the last couple games here. We got Portland against Brooklyn, which we already discussed. We have Memphis, who plays Milwaukee without Giannis because Giannis decided that he wants to, give the old headbutt to Mo Wagner.
Okay. All right. Listen, can we stay on that for a second? Because you know how much
Mo Wagner?
If that was
beef with Mo Wagner?
No, I got beef with Giannis in the league. Okay. If that's anybody else in the league, do you think they get more than a 1-game suspension for headbutting?
No, I think they get a 1-game suspension.
Really?
Yeah, I think they get 1 game. I don't think they get more. Yeah.
I just have such a hard time believing that it would be any different. I mean that it would. There's no way.
I don't think maybe if it was a repeat offender, maybe if it was like Draymond, doing it, maybe he gets an extra game just because he's like a repeat offender. But like Giannis doesn't do any. Like Giannis gets in like tussles here and there, but he's.
Listen,
he got in a brawl. He got in a little mini brawl with the Nets. He didn't headbutt Donta Hall.
My thing about the whole league and Giannis is I think the league is on Giannis.
I think they want to protect Giannis. Like that's understandable. Protect your stars.
But at the same time, it's like, come on. I mean, being a fan of an Eastern contender and seeing all that stuff, I guess it stings a little bit more. It's kind of more like, come on, like you're really not going to get. I mean, obviously, was I expecting him to be suspended going to the playoffs? No.
I don't even think the intention was to be like, WWE style bang headbutt. You know what I mean? I think he wanted to go like rhinoceroses gonna butt heads. I think he was going for that, and I think Mo Wagner was like, "Oh crap,
he kind of sold it a little bit. Yeah,
dude's head. I'm gonna just fall off." You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's what you should do in that situation. If Mo Wagner doesn't want a suspension in his meaningless season, so it is what it is.
I'm just
Grizzlies,
over the whole Giannis and the whole Giannis Bucks thing and how the league loves him. I'm over it. It's going to happen in the playoffs again where he's going to get all these fouls and no one's going to call it against him because he's 7 feet. And how do you call it against one of the best players, arguably the best player in the league? How are you going to call a foul against him? The league doesn't want this to happen. So that's my stance, and it just pisses me off.
Okay. So Memphis plays Milwaukee, 10 seed Phoenix plays Dallas, and San Antonio plays Utah, right?
San Antonio. Have you watched San Antonio play their basketball?
They're playing their young guys. They're playing
great basketball, and it's not surprising. I mean, it's surprising because they were very disappointing this year, but at the same time, Greg Popovich is such an outstanding coach, and what he does with this team, which is completely unlike any other team he's ever coached. He doesn't have. This is the first time he doesn't have Manu, Tony Parker, or Tim Duncan, and this team is still over. I mean, they weren't overperforming this year, but now you see how they're playing.
Well, they're playing their young guys, and their problem, it maybe it's not a problem. It's a problem of it's a problem of riches, I suppose. They have DeJounte Murray, Derek White, Keldon Johnson, who they have just called up from the G League and have been giving him steady rotation minutes. And I think he had 23 the other day. So he can score at the very least. He's been a solid player in the G League. They also have Lonnie Walker, and that's 4 dudes, 4
Lonnie
guards.
Walker is going to be a stud.
I loved Lonnie Walker coming out of Miami. I think he was one of the more pro-ready dudes in that draft. And typical San Antonio, right? Draft a pro-ready guy and then have him sit down and make him more pro-ready. That's understandable. I can't knock what the Spurs do because it's the Spurs, right? And they've done it for so long.
They know what it is. Yeah, they know exactly who they have to draft, what position they need to fill.
Right.
I mean, Lonnie Walker's athleticism is off the charts. We've seen him make those dunks before.
Right.
He went viral, a season or 2 ago when he had that dunk and everybody on the bench and the opposing bench was like this. And he's this far above the rim and he's just giving a little flagelli, It's
and
crazy.
They also have, and that's without mentioning DeMar DeRozan too. So they have 5 guards and 2 spots to play them, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what they do moving forward with those 5 guys. I would think DeRozan is the odd man out, right?
It's tough because I feel like he's the rock that offense needs that can play solid defense.
Well, he's the proven dude, right?
He's not a shooter, but you got to give him the ball in the post. You want him to shoot that mid-range. he can handle the ball.
Yeah, you want him to shoot the mid-range.
He's not going to make that three, but the way
Well,
the Spurs work is that post defense.
If you need a bucket, you're gonna give it to
DeRozan, yeah.
To DeRozan, right? So he's a free agent after the 2021. Actually, I lied. He's got a player option for 2021, $27 million. I would think he opts into that because I don't think anybody's going to give him more than $27 million. So he opts into that, and that's fine, right? Because then you got, five rotation guards there. But back to the scenario. So Portland wins. So Portland gets the 8th seed if they beat Brooklyn.
Okay.
Or if Portland goes 0-1. So if so they win.
Portland wins are in.
So if win and you're in, right? Win the 8th seed, you're in. They get the 8th seed if they lose, but Memphis also has to lose. So does San Antonio, and so does Phoenix, right? But they can also get the 9th seed, and then they can have the play-in game where they have to win 2, I believe, against the 8th seed. They have to. So if Portland loses, they have Memphis and Phoenix need to lose, and San Antonio needs to lose as well.
It's crazy. You talk about these scenarios, and it kind of seems like it's it's like those football scenarios in the NFL with those that last week where it's like what was it? Baltimore one year needed 3 teams to lose, or was it Pittsburgh needed 3 teams to lose one in 1 week, and they all lost. You see the locker room go crazy. It's got that crazy playoff vibe, and I think I don't know if it was the TNT crew or if it was ESPN I was watching, or maybe it was ESPN. It was Jeff Van Gundy was talking about how he hates the fact that they have a play-in game, but at the same time, this play-in game is just giving so much hype. Like, I want to watch this play-in.
Yeah, I want to watch it too. Well, you remember a couple of years ago, maybe it was 3 years ago, and it was the 8th seed Timberwolves had the Timberwolves and the Nuggets 3 years ago, I think, had the same record vying for the 8th seed, and they took it to a game 83, basically, since they had the same record. All the tiebreakers were even. And that was a good game. That was one of the most watched games of the season because it's like who's going to get this 8th seed, like obviously competitive basketball game. Everyone wants it. But I don't know if we'd seen a situation, and it's different obviously because of the bubble, that 4 teams are vying for 2 spots.
Crazy.
And all of them have a legitimate shot at getting 8 or 9. I think, and I think this was proposed, they should have had a little mini tournament where the 7th seed plays the 9th seed, or the 7th seed. 7th seed would play the 10 seed, and the 8th seed would play the 9 seed. And whoever wins those 2 games get into those last 2 playoff spots.
Are all these games happening tomorrow? All these scenario games?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so tomorrow's going to be a crazy day.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to watch. I'm excited.
It should be.
What are the East matchups?
So the East is set in stone. So
I know it's Milwaukee against is it Milwaukee against
Milwaukee, Orlando, Toronto versus Brooklyn. Right now it's Celtics, Sixers, and Heat, Pacers. Right.
So the East is pretty set.
That's all set in stone. No, that's set. That doesn't move.
Yeah. Well, I know the Celtics are resting everybody because they're playing the Wizards tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're resting everybody I know. Everyone who wouldn't, the whole world's work. The whole East is resting everybody.
And the Nets are playing their starters tomorrow, or at least some minutes. They're playing their starters against Portland, probably to just get them in a little bit of a rhythm, just get them going, because they didn't play last game. So it's an interesting strategy for these these Eastern teams to see like where certain guys are maybe vying for a last rotation spot. But the East is set, and we can preview that. We'll preview that next week. We'll preview Eastern and Conference.
Playoff basketball, dude. It's right around the corner, and I can't wait for it, man.
It is. It's literally right around the corner.
These seeding games were this crazy, like I can only imagine how crazy these playoff games are going to be. It's I'm so excited, and honestly, it's shocking. I mean, how crazy these games have been. How crazy close these games have been, especially I know I talked about the Mavericks before. I think most of their like past 2 or 3 games, it's gone down to the wire the past 2 minutes, and it's just between them doing that and the Suns going 7-0, and and the
Defense
Pacers
has
playing
been
well.
really bad in the bubble, and like
It's been non-existent.
I don't know if it's dudes taking off, like and just like playing
Well,
one end of the ball,
I get that's gym ball, dude.
which would be understandable, right?
That's
Like
gym ball.
yeah. Like if that's what they're doing, like that's fine. I can't knock them for not playing defense, not putting the extra effort in, like especially when your team clinches and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's just been really fun basketball.
All right,
So yeah,
next?
we'll see if it gets any different in the playoffs. So we got the NBA lays out a plan for visitors, right? So let me tell you who's allowed.
Okay.
You are allowed to bring family, obvious, and quote, established long-standing personal friends.
Oh, so they don't want any
Yes. Not allowed are, quote, any individual the player has not previously met in person or with whom the player had limited in-person interaction. So you can bring your family and your buddies. You can't bring Debbie that you just met on Instagram.
Well, Debbie that slid into the DM.
Nah, well, Debbie that slid in, or Debbie that got her DM slid in on.
Yeah.
Right? So, it happened. Like, it happens. So the NBA's like, yo, don't bring your Instagram people in here. Have a long-standing relationship with them. Bring your ex in here.
It's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny. There's they can bring trainers, agents, personal chefs, or like people like that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's kind of a loophole. Probably, I mean, when I read this at first, I thought, all right, LeBron's going to bring Rich Paul in here because he's an established long-standing personal friend, but he's also his agent, so he's not going to bring him in here, So he's other teams' players' agent, so it's probably a conflict of interest. But not allowed any individual. The way it's worded is phenomenal. Who would you qualify as any individual the player has not previously met in person, or whom the player has had limited in-person interaction? So that's
booty calls.
Yeah, booty calls, limited in-person interaction.
It's booty calls. It's Instagram DMs. It's someone that you just listen. I think they're just doing it straightly for hookups because they know
Right.
the boys got to get theirs.
Right.
Which I get, but I get why the boys want to bring their hookups in there. At the same time, you want to preserve the bubble and you want to preserve the season.
So how many celebrities do we see in the bubble? Like, how many people are texting LeBron and being like, yo, or maybe not even LeBron. Maybe they're texting Kuzma, and Kuzma's like, oh my God. And Kuzma's like, because Kuzma probably has like interactions with these people because he's in LA and he's Kyle Kuzma, right? Like he's out, like I feel like he's known, right? Yeah. How many people are texting Kyle Kuzma being like, yo, let me get in this bubble. I want to go see some courtside basketball. Dude, you think there are some like fringe celebrities that are like,
I think Caruso's got to be getting hit up. Like everybody on all these teams is getting hit up, whether you're a star, whether you're a bench player, because it's like, it doesn't matter. They don't specify if you're a bench player, even if you're you're a two-way and you're just sitting on the bench the whole time, not even suited up. Like Taco Fall could bring in his boy or his girl that just means absolutely nothing to anybody just because he wants to. So who knows? But it's good for the players. I know Jaylen Brown was talking about mental health. He was saying how it's tough, not being able to get away from the game of basketball. Everyone's used to going home and getting away from the game of basketball. But I think that's also the beauty of the bubble is you can't get away from basketball, and that's what you're focusing on. You're there to play basketball, and that's why everyone's in that mindset. So I mean, I get it why the NBA is doing it to kind of help the players out a little bit, but at the same time, let's just get this stuff over with. Let's get the playoffs, get the championship done. Let everyone go home, have their fun.
I agree. No Instagram thoughts.
No Instagram.
No Instagram thoughts.
No Instagram.
That's all right.
All right, you can talk about this next one because I have nothing to say.
I was gonna let you lead the conversation, but that's fine. So the next point of business we have here is a Shams athletic report, basically laying out the structure in which the Nets are going to find their next head coaching candidate, right? And some of the names that were listed in there were Jacques Vaughn, who is the current coach, assistant under Kenny Atkinson. He's done, in my opinion, he's done a great job, right? He's done more than just coach the basketball team. He's made sure to have all his players like registered to vote. He's teaching them about like social issues. He's using the bubble for more than just bless
Corona.
you, Jesus. He's using the bubble for more than just – I'm going to ignore that you said that – for more than just basketball. Also on the list is Jason Kidd, former Nets coach and Lakers assistant. Ime Udoka, who's a 76ers assistant, formerly of the San Antonio Spurs, I believe. And Jeff Van Gundy, who I just have ESPN on there. But he used to coach – he used to coach the Knicks and the Rockets. Do you have any thoughts on the names listed here?
My whole thing with the Nets, they should never let Kenny Atkinson go in the first place. If you're going, my opinion.
See, that's where you and I disagree, right? But I'll let you keep going.
Okay, so Kenny Atkinson did a great job, developed young players, made a lot, made Brooklyn what it is today with KD, Kyrie, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see what he did with D'Lo. They had Jared Allen, Joe Harris. They've obviously drafted really well, bouncing back. If they're going to go, I don't think they should go outside higher. I think they should stick with their interim, Jacques Vaughn. He's obviously had a relationship with these players prior to this season. He's continuing it with it. He knows, what these players can do, their strengths, their weaknesses. He's had time to grow. I don't think it's smart for the Nets to kind of go outside the box. I mean, they've been homegrown talent for the past 5, 6, 10 years. There's never been a huge marketplace. It's always been the Knicks. Why not just?
But it's still New York.
Exactly, but why not just keep the kid? Why not just keep the kid in town? That's the only way I feel about it. I think they should keep who they have now. Jason Kidd was in Milwaukee and he did whatever. Ty Lue obviously has a good track record. JVG hasn't coached in a while. He's just kind of been an analyst. I don't know. I think you should just keep Jock. What's the big deal? I mean, to be honest with you, I could care less. I don't think it's really going to make a difference because Kyrie and KD are going to lead the team anyway. They're going to be the leaders on the court, off the court.
Right.
So who cares who you bring in? But why not just keep who you have now? Because obviously something's working.
I'm glad you brought up that it's KD and Kyrie kind of leading, going to help leading the search. And when Sean Marks was asked it earlier when he fired Kenny Atkinson and they started talking about, incumbents, if they're going to start looking, he said that each player is going to have an equal say in who the coach is, right? And that's just not true, right?
Yeah.
Obviously the opinion of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and DeAndre Jordan, right? Whether he deserves the same weight or not, he's going to get the same weight.
Yeah.
Just because they pay him like he has the say, and he does have the say. That's probably one of the reasons Kenny Atkinson got fired, because DeAndre Jordan didn't like sitting on the bench, right? In favor of Jared Allen, and that's okay. But I agree with you, Nick. I think it should be Jacques Vaughn. Jacques Vaughn, like I said, has made the bubble focus on more than just basketball, and to me, Kyrie should be like thumbs up, right? That's phenomenal. Like, Kyrie didn't want to have the bubble because there were more important social issues going on. And while I don't disagree with him, if that's what you want your coach to be, like more of a teacher figure outside of basketball, Jacques Vaughn has proved that he just did that, right? Jacques Vaughn has proven that he's doing it. And that's not to say Ime Udoka, Jason Kidd, Ty Lue, JVG can't do it. But Jacques Vaughn is doing it right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I see. And at this point, we've talked about how this bubble is a huge bonding experience for the team. it's just straight basketball, boys on boys. Everyone hanging out together all day, every day, getting food together, breakfast, lunch, dinner, practice, training, all this stuff. He's so heavily involved, his hands deep in all this stuff.
Yeah.
Taking him out of the locker room, who knows? Maybe it's going to hurt even more. And you bring in somebody from outside, J Kidd, Ty Lue, JVG, and who knows how that's going to impact the team. Are they even going to be able to be the leader?
Right. I think it's Ty. Like if I were to power rank them right now,
yeah,
and this is like who I think is going to get this job, I think it's Ty Lue number one, right?
Yeah.
Because Ty Lue has that championship pedigree. He's got the history with Kyrie from Cleveland, followed by Jacques Vaughn. You can't look at what Jacques Vaughn did and has done and be like, this dude doesn't deserve the job, right? He obviously deserves a job, right? I think after that is Ime Udoka. I don't know much about Ime Udoka. I know that he used to be on the Spurs staff with Popovich, and now he's on, Brett Brown's staff with the 76ers. He comes up in a lot of coaching searches, probably just because he's that Spurs tree, and a lot of coaches around the league are, also from that Spurs tree. You look at Budenholzer being the main one there. I think.
If you want to talk about 76, okay, so you think he's the 76ers assistant. I think the Sixers is. I don't think they make any noise in the playoffs, and I think Brett Brown's gone after this year.
Right, and if you want Ime Udoka as a coach, you can probably bring him on as an assistant. If Brett Brown gets fired, they're going to can that entire staff and start from new. So if you want Ime Udoka on your staff, you can take the risk and just wait and hope he comes on as an assistant. But he's got ties to San Antonio, so does Sean Marks. That's where I was going with that one. I think Jason Kidd is probably not last, second to last. I think Jeff Van Gundy's last. I think Jeff Van Gundy is brought into these interviews, and I think a lot of these are brought into interviews from like sports analyst like backgrounds, because I feel like they want to see the interviewee, in this case Sean Marks and the Nets, wants to see like what they see as an analyst. Maybe it's different than what a coach sees, but Jeff Van Gundy has been coaching for a while, so I think he has a definite pedigree as well.
Yeah. Again, I don't think the head coach really is going to mean too much next year. With the team already established, with the leaders like KD and Kyrie and DeAndre Jordan, I don't think it's going to mean too much. But if it means something, then you should keep it out. Yeah,
in a perfect world, they bring on Ty Lue and have Jacques Vaughn as an assistant, but we don't live in a perfect world, and that's probably not going to happen because Jacques Vaughn has probably proved that he deserves a job in a 10-game sample, that he deserves some consideration for a head coaching job. At least that's my opinion. Moving on to some more coaching news, we have the Pacers. Nate McMillan contract extendo. He's done a good job in Portland.
Not in Portland, in Indiana.
Indiana, what did I say, Portland? He was in Portland. He used to coach Portland. That's where I got that from.
He did, and Indiana in general they've been impressive this public season. The Pacers for me have always been that fringe team, which you're always like, they could make some noise, and then they don't, and then it's like, Pacers have always been that team when they have Paul George. To me, I don't think it's huge news. Listen, the Pacers are the Pacers to me. And we talked about how strong the West is compared to the East, and the Pacers are that middle pack of that.
He's a good coach. Team. I mean, he's coaching Scraps into a legitimate. Into a legitimate contender. Yeah. I don't think Indiana is ever going to get a star, right? But if they continue to draft, well, at least Nate McMillan can coach and develop, right?
Correct, absolutely.
Oladipo has always been a decent scorer, but he kind of made Oladipo the focal point and kind of like unleashed him and made his game, he made him more of a 3-level scorer as opposed to just, get your 15, 16 points or something like that. Brad Stevens, extendo.
I love
coach.
That, man.
Since coming over from Butler, dude, he's been a solid coach. And it's always a fun
his
offseason.
win percentage is like it's over 50%. I think it's close to 60%. He's got over 300 wins. I think it's around 320, maybe 330. He's only been coaching 3, 4 years, 5 years. He's a great coach, one of the brightest basketball minds that we have.
Right.
I see him as the Celtics' long-term head coach. I don't think he leaves that team in the next 20, 30, 40 years. He's a smart guy. He knows how to draw up schemes. I love this guy. It's hard for me to say anything bad about Brad Stevens. He always says the right things at the right time. He draws off the right plays off the inbound. He's obviously developed these players. I mean, obviously he came in and it wasn't really much for the Celtics, but he had a lot coming in to him with all the picks that were coming in when he signed as a head coach. But the development, I think, my whole thing with him is the development of Marcus Smart. Coming out of college, he wasn't a shooter. He was just kind of a playmaker with a hot head. But now you see Marcus Smart. Now he makes the shots. He plays hardcore defense. He's a team player. I can't say enough about Brad Stevens. I think he's going to be better than Doc Rivers was in Boston. He's going to reach Red Auerbach numbers. It's just I couldn't be more happy. And it's been a long time coming for Brad. I hope he never leaves. I don't think he's ever going to leave. I love that guy. I do. I just love him so much. He's a great coach. He knows what he's doing. I couldn't be any more happy. They didn't say how long it's going to be extended for. I'm hoping it's a lifetime extension where he doesn't leave ever. But that's it. It's just a quick Brad Stevens. I love you.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere, right? Because the Celtics, obviously, the future is bright. Like you have Kemba. I mean, the future is bright and the future is now. You have Kemba Walker for 5 years, right? And he's what, 30, 29, something like that. And you hope his knee holds up.
Something like that.
You hope his knee holds up. If it doesn't, If it doesn't, oh well. Like you paid the money, you had to pay the money. It's fine, right? And I trust the Celtics to get the most out of him, even if he isn't 100%. But I think he'll get back to near 100%. But you also have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and assuming those two guys stay, Brad Stevens has nowhere to go. There's no job that's going to be like top contender in the NBA. And there's always the rumor like, oh, if Coach K leaves, they're going to offer him like the lifetime deal over there. But like, I don't think it's natural for a coach to go from college success at Butler to NBA success with the Celtics and then back down to college. Like that doesn't make sense to me. So usually when I see that, I just kind of throw that. So I don't think he's going. I'm with you. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, like you said, the future's bright. Future's now. We talk about the Celtics, their depth. And, Rob Williams III, his true shooting percentage this bubble is like 84%.
Yeah, because he doesn't take shots. He just dunks. That's the same thing with Mitchell Robinson. Like
that's
Mitchell Robinson,
too, man. That's all Ben Simmons does.
That's fine.
Exactly.
I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying.
That's the thing. When Clint Capella was on the block, they were always talking about the Celtics trading for Clint Capella and how he would make an impact. But the team sees Rob Williams III as a Clint Capella-like player. I mean, tall, lengthy, grabs rebound.
He's gonna run. He's gonna rim run, and he's gonna dunk, and he's gonna catch lobs. You don't need him to do anything else.
That's all you need. I love him. Behind him with Taco Fall, with Carson Edwards, with Tremont Water, the Tremont Water, the G League MVP. I mean, all this. The Celtics. Listen, they draft right. Ainge is a great GM. Mm-hmm. They have a great head coach. They're great from the top down. They know what they're doing. Win or not, they know what they're doing. I'm never worried. So this is just a continuing success of this ball club, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. It's the future's bright. The future's now. You got the green Celtics hat on. You're prepped for it.
Let's go!
You could break that Isaiah Thomas jersey out of the closet if you want to.
Oh no, I have it. I'll break the I have the Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson. All right, excuse me. I got the wrong. I got the wrong 5'6" point guard.
They both wore number 4 too, baby. Gang.
All right, so a lot of coaching news. We got Alvin Gentry in hot water. I don't know if this has been. I feel like this has been like speculated, but nothing's been like concrete. Nobody's come out and said like, "Hey, we're gonna fire." Alvin Gentry, but after all the hype in the bubble, right? Well, let me break this. Let me break it down like this.
Okay.
Alvin Gentry was hired before the current leadership of David Griffin and Trajan Langdon, right? David Griffin came from Cleveland, I believe, and Trajan Langdon, who is aptly nicknamed the Alaskan
Corona.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Dude, listen.
Good? Out of your system now?
Allergies down here in the basement. I'm running rampant today.
Yeah. So David Griffin, the Pelicans president CEO, I don't know what his official terminology is. Trajan Langdon, the GM, formerly of the Nets, nicknamed the Alaskan Assassin. That's a great nickname, isn't it? He went to Duke, you know.
Baby.
So I think Alvin, like, coaches who don't have success.
I didn't get it out of my system. Now I did.
I'm trying to make a point here, and you keep sneezing.
I can't help it, dude.
It's okay. Coaches with limited success, new regimes usually don't last long, right? I feel like it happens mostly in the NFL where, like, a head coach is there and a new GM comes in and they're like, oh, we like the system that he put in. We're going to let him ride it out. And then they go 4-12 and they fire him anyways. That's kind of what happened with the Pelicans, right? So I think the Pelicans are going to fire Alvin Gentry.
Alvin Gentry.
I think you have a phenomenal team around them, right? You have probably one of the brightest futures in the league, and you gave them a glimpse of what you can do, and Alvin Gentry was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do here, so I think they look for new opportunities here. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, a starting five, a potential starting five, right, of Lonzo Ball, who still needs to be developed, right? He shows his flashes, and he's obviously one of the better defensive point guards in the league already. You can't really teach that, but you can help it. But he needs to get a more consistent shot. He's already a good passer, but that still needs to be a little bit developed, finding lanes for him to actually pass it to, or developing lanes, stuff like that. But they also have Drew Holiday. They have Brandon Ingram. They have Zion, and they have Jackson Hayes. That's 5 dudes right there. And they have JJ Redick, 6-man, right off the bench. They have 6 dudes right there. To me, that's one of the best starting 6s in the league, right? All of those dudes still probably need to be developed, though. And this is where I'm gonna ring the Kenny Atkinson bell, right? I'm gonna ring the. Do you not think? Okay, so Kenny
we talked about Kenny Atkinson in development.
Right.
I mean, that's
right. And what is better to develop than, all right? So you take a center, Hayes. Kenny Atkinson helped develop Jared Allen, right? You take a point guard from, the Lakers, who got traded to another team, cough cough, Brooklyn, cough cough, and made him an all-star and got him a max deal. Why not bring that in for Lonzo, right? Why not?
I mean, listen, you have a proven head coach there, too.
Trajan Langdon, who was the assistant GM at the Nets, the connection is right there. I don't see why. To me, it's easy,
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's a win-win. We talk about development. You've mentioned the links between, centers and the point guard play. I mean, it was disappointing, I think, this bubble season for the Pelicans because they put Zion on such a heavy restriction, such a heavy minutes restriction, and we saw it in the Memphis Grizzlies game. I've seen it in the last 2 games where he's just looked gassed. He isn't physically ready to play basketball. I mean, you can't really blame that on Gentry, but you can blame. It's tough to put a lot of blame on him, but like you said, when you get a new GM and a whole new group come in and they don't have their guy, then guess what? You're out. If you can't prove it in that 1 year, then you're out of here. We need to get our guy in there because clearly you're not doing what we want you to do, and let's get our other guy in there. Gentry's a good coach, but I don't know.
I think he's stale, right? Like I think, he's kind of. I think he's kind of run his course there. You have new faces. You have an entire new – why not do a complete new rebranding? Get a coach that has had success in the NBA, right? And if you want to pick from, Jacques Vaughn, Jason Kidd, Ime Udoka, Ty Lue, Jeff Van Gundy, like that's a pretty solid list too. But I don't know if Ty Lue leaves the Clippers for a reclaiming project. I don't know if Jason Kidd does the same thing, although Jason Kidd has been in every single interview or has had an interview with every single team looking for a coaching role. So like we'll see where that goes. But I think Kenny Atkinson should be near the top of their consideration list. That's just my opinion.
No, 100%. He absolutely should. He's a great coach. I mean, he's a great coach, great guy. He knows what he's doing with the team. He knows how to build chemistry. He knows how to develop players. I mean, he's got a good track record. Why not? Give him a shot. I mean, you bring him in for an interview. Maybe he does what they want him to do, and who knows what David Griffin wants out of a coach.
Yeah.
But you want development. You want chemistry, especially in a young team like that you want to be able to play. You have a young B.I., you have a young Lonzo, a young Zion.
There's a lot of development that needs to happen. I just think Kenny Atkinson has the proven record of development around the league, right? And I've been a Kenny Atkinson like skeptic from like the X's and O's perspective, like but team building, getting guys like to be their best selves, that's something that he's really good at. So if he can come on and be an assistant, or if he can come on and be the head coach, like that's a win. The last thing I have here is kind of a joke, right? So Kyle Kuzma said after he hit his game-winning shot with Bol right in his face, all 7'2" of Bol, right?
Oh, he had a space. It was a great pick. It was a great play. Yeah. It was a great play drawn up by Frank Vogel.
Yeah, it was.
It was a great play. They used LeBron James as a decoy. They had Kuz open for a wide open three. Listen, I give the guy. Go ahead. Talk about Jesus because.
So Kyle Kuzma after the game. No, I agree with you. It was a phenomenally drawn up play. It was a great shot. It's one of the tougher shots for him to make because you got to catch it and turn and shoot. And Kuzma's a good shooter, right? Kuzma will get hot. Kuzma will get cold. Like that's just the kind of player he is, and that's understandable. But for them to drop the play like Kuzma, take the distributor, phenomenal. Good for development too, and obviously good for his confidence because Kyle Kuzma after the game said it doesn't matter who's in front of him. Jesus could be in front of him, and he'd take the shot. Right. So I Googled how tall is Jesus because I was curious. Right.
How tall is Jesus? 6'5"?
So according to livescience.com, and a researcher named – hold on, I had her name. Joanne Taylor. Joanne Taylor speculates that Jesus was 5 foot 5 inches.
Oh. What?
Or the average height seen in skeletal remains from males there at the time.
Okay. All right. Well, then listen. If he's 5'5", I mean, I'm taking that shot.
Kyle Kuzma, for reference, is
6'7",
6'8", right?
Gosh.
6'8". So he's 1 foot and 3 inches taller than Jesus. So he's probably looking over him. He doesn't even see Jesus, right? Kyle Kuzma saying he'd take that shot in front of Jesus is not impressive to me.
Listen, and I think he went on record. I think Kuzma went on record saying, I don't know how you feel about this, is he'd be in the starting lineup for most of, if not all, the other teams in the NBA. Listen, I don't think Kuz is that good. He's streaky. He's not dependable. I wouldn't have him in my starting lineup.
Well, let me tell you. Well, to that point, 25 on the 8th of August against the Pacers, 25 minutes, 11 points, 3 of 14, 1 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 steals. Against the Nuggets, 33 minutes, 25 points, 11 of 16 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals.
Good. Those are bench numbers. That's a 6-man number you want to bring off the bench that'll maybe that'll get you a little hot. I don't trust in him as a starting player. I wouldn't put him in my starting lineup. unless I'm on a development team like the Suns.
Yeah, he's a poor defender. He's a streaky shooter. I don't know if he's. I would probably put him in my starting lineup because you can never have too many scorers, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
Especially at power forward, I feel like that's his scoring advantage. His quickness is probably an advantage against most traditional power forwards in the league. Looking at dudes like, more traditional type Paul Millsap.
I just haven't seen enough from him. That's my thing. I just haven't seen enough from him.
I'm not gonna ride Kuzma as like a Lakers stan would. I'm not gonna say he's phenomenal, this, that, and the other thing. I think he has various opinions around the league about what his talent level is, and there's no doubt he's a scorer. There's no doubt about that, right? He's streaky, but he's a scorer. What a team values in that is a little different. But I remember at the trade deadline when the Lakers were looking for a point guard. Kuzma was the guy, and you saw on at least on Twitter, and I know NBA Twitter isn't the place to go for like anything, but there were tweets like Kuzma's going to get us Drew Holiday, like Kuzma's going to be the piece in a Drew Holiday trade. Like, no, he's not. Kuzma's going to be the piece in a Spencer Dinwiddie trade. Like, no, he's not. Like, he's not going to be the main piece in any trade.
Listen,
there's going to be picks involved.
Kuzma, go ahead and take the shot over Jesus.
All five of them.
Let's see if you make it in.
Yeah, I would probably take Kuzma over Jesus. All right, so that's all the news that we had here. A lot of coaching news as we expect to see right before the end of the season. Next week we'll get into playoffs, but before we do, last section we got going on here, Nick, is our tried and true
Sporkle.
Section. Yep, brought to you by, but not sponsored by, Sporkle.
Yes.
So today we have, let me share the screen here with you. Bless you. Host disabled attendee screen sharing. Are you the host? Can you? Am I the host?
Am I the host?
I don't know.
I think I am. Here, let me make you the host because you probably have it up already.
I do have it up already, but I don't know how to. I don't know. Oh, I am the host now. I am the captain now.
You are the captain.
Let's see what I can do here. Share screen. Yeah, I'm the host. I can do what I want.
Yeah,
now
share that Sporkle.
Now I do what I want.
Sporkle.
Now I do what I want. Okay, so we have today for you. Can you name the top 5 leaders in 3-point field goals made for each NBA team?
15 minutes. We have
115 from 2010s. Yeah, I tried to find one that gave us enough time to actually, do this. So let's rock. We got 15 minutes. Top 5 3-point field goal made leaders from each team. Let's start with the Atlanta Hawks. And I feel like this one is kind of obvious. Yeah, Kyle Korver. I feel like Jeff Teague is in there. I feel like Josh Smith. Oh, no, we got J.R. Smith. Al Horford. Nope. Al Horford is not in there.
Joe Johnson? Was Joe Johnson on that team?
Yeah, Joe Johnson's probably up there. You got one for the Nets there, too. Paul Millsap? I don't know if he was making threes when he was really I got Patty Mills somewhere. Patty Mills. No, okay. So no Millsap. So we got 453 and 332.
Who else on that team? Jeff Teague. You put Lou Will.
No, he was not. Lou Will wasn't on the Hawks.
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
He was.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Not on there. All right, let's move on to the Celtics because you should be able to sweep this.
It's got to. Ray Allen wasn't on that team. I should be able to sweep it. So you can put Paul Pierce on there. Oh, I before E, except after C.
It would help if it'd help if I spelled his name right. Paul Pierce. Ray Allen is probably on there. He's on the bottom there. Was Garnett draining threes at a no?
Could you put I would maybe not Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
Eddie House in all caps.
House.
No.
447.
That's a lot of threes.
Who's shooting threes?
You
Avery
think Marcus
Bradley?
Smart is up there? Hey, look at that. Yeah, Marcus Smart, the volume shooter that he is. 520 threes. That's a lot of threes.
That's a lot of threes. All right,
I
run
don't
down your
know.
Brooklyn
You don't know. Oh, okay. Joe Johnson, Darren Williams. We got D'Angelo Russell. We got Joe Harris. And probably Bogdanovich.
Wow, good luck.
Bogdanovich. Hey!
Oh,
like
bogey.
Clean sweep. Charlotte.
Cardiac.
Yeah, Kemba. I got to put Walker. He's not Giannis. Nick Batum. Hey!
Wow, Nick Batum.
We got Marvin Williams on there. I don't know.
There's nobody else on that
I
basketball team.
don't know.
There's nobody else on that
2009.
basketball team.
Gerald Henderson. Damn it.
DJ Augustine.
Augustine. You might. No, not DJ Augustine. Okay, so onto the Bulls. We got probably Derrick Rose on there. I think we got Ben Gordon. Oh no, we got Eric Gordon all over there. You think Butler?
Levine?
Yeah, Butler, Levine. Zach Levine's on there for the T-Wolves.
Who else is making threes for the Chicago Bulls?
Oh my God, I can't spell. Okay.
Julius Randle. No, they don't have Randle. They had the other one. Oh, Nick Mirotic. Nick Mirotic. Nick Mirotic.
I'm built for this.
You got to put Greg Monroe. He's all Sporkle team.
Monroe. No, not draining threes. I tried to find one that wouldn't have Greg Monroe.
Greg Monroe, all Sporkle team.
Probably Kirk Heinrich, but I don't know how to spell his name.
Wow, good.
Heinrich. I don't know. And then 318, I don't know that one either. Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James, J.R. Smith.
Irving, Kevin Love.
Irving, Love. Missing a fifth one there from 2009 to Delonte West. No.
Delonte West.
All right, Dallas Mavericks. Can I just type in Dirk? Please give me Dirk. Damn it. Nowitzki. 616. That's a lot of threes. I'm going to get one for the Magic real quick. Turk.
Hito.
I don't know how to spell his name. Hito. No. Caron Butler, maybe? Nope. I would have got Caron Butler when I typed in Jimmy Butler.
Who else?
Perea. Just over.
Vince Carter? Do you think he made that many?
No, he's down there for the Grizzlies,
he's
though.
For Grizzlies, yay.
Wow. Hito Turkoglu was definitely on there. I just don't know how to spell his name. He's probably on there for the Magic. Actually, I don't know. 2000. Yeah, he was there in like 2013. Who was on that team? Jason Terry. Who was on that team that upset LeBron?
Sean Marion.
I don't.
Caron Butler.
Yeah, I typed in Caron Butler. I would have got Butler with Jimmy though.
You got Jason Kidd.
I don't think he's making. I apologize.
He's making something. All right, Denver Nuggets.
I don't know who that second one is. You think Jokic is on there? Nope. Gary Harris is, so probably Will Barton is too. Melo. Carmelo. No, he's over there with the Knicks, but not the Nuggets. Okay.
AI.
Iverson. I don't think he's making that many threes, though.
JR. We think JR.
JR Smith is already on there.
Dude, what? The Denver Nuggets. Chauncey? Not 2010.
All right, Pistons. We're just gonna go Blake Griffin. Not Blake Griffin. Okay, that's cool.
Detroit Pistons. I don't know anybody on that basketball team.
Yeah, that's tough.
Reggie Bullock, Ish Smith.
Oh my lord.
Reggie Jackson.
Okay.
Okay.
Think we get Luke Kennard on there? Nope. That's a shame. Blake Griffin isn't on that list, which is shocking to me, but
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anybody else on that team.
Yeah, I don't know. All right,
2,400
Warriors.
threes.
Curry, Thompson, Hollis Thompson down there for the 76ers. Wow, okay. Klay Thompson, 45. Probably Draymond Green, Durant, 335.
You already put Russell, Monte Ellis. Okay, good shout. Oh, put who's on the Kings now? Harrison Barnes.
Matt Barnes down there.
Okay.
Getting some names.
David Lee.
Oh, David Lee, the other one. I don't think he's making three though. Good shout though. Houston Rockets. Probably it's Harden and then maybe Chris Paul. No, Chris Paul's on the Clippers though. So Harden, Eric Gordon. We got 876. Who's been on that team for a while to get 876 for the Rockets?
Who else is getting buckets on the Warriors?
Yeah, 335 is a lot of threes.
All right, Houston Rockets, who we going with? James, you got to put Chris Paul on there too, maybe?
Yeah, I did, but we got him for the Clippers, not there, so a little tough.
876 threes.
Not Oladipo. Wow. Okay. No. I don't know. I don't know anybody on the Rockets. I don't know anybody on the Pacers either that could have this.
Put Rivers. Is Austin Rivers on here? He's there. He's down there on the Clippers.
Who are we missing there for the Clippers then?
662. JJ Redick.
Not Lou Will.
How is Lou Will not on there? Jamal. Okay.
The Lakers, probably Bryant.
We already put Russell on there. Not Lonzo. B.I. No.
No.
We already tried Julius Randle. Have you tried? Who's the other one? Jabari Parker?
No, he was never on the Lakers, but yeah. All right, Grizzlies. We got Vince Carter. We got Marc Gasol. We probably have Conley. If I can spell his name right. Ever. Conley. Mike Miller. Darius Miller.
Okay.
332 threes. Who's pulling up threes in Memphis? 217. Zebo?
Who's pulling up threes?
I have no idea. Miami. So we got LeBron. We probably got Wade. No, we don't have Dwayne Wade. Okay, I guess I'll just die.
You got Chris Bosh?
No. I don't.
What about Mario Chalmers?
Mario Chalmers should be nowhere near the basketball.
You put Mike Miller. Wow, bro. Wow.
Yeah, it's tough, right? All right, on to the Bucks. No, not Bledsoe. This is 2009 to 2019. So I don't know who's on the Bucks like in that time. Definitely not Monte Ellis. Apparently.
Ersan Ilyasova. Can you put Ilyasova on there?
Hey,
Ursanity.
I want to at least get.
Put Lopez?
No.
No.
I want to at least get one from each team. So I think we're on track for that at least. All right, let's do the T-Wolves. So we got Love, we got Levine, we probably got Wiggins,
Towns. You've already tried Teague.
Yeah.
Like
that's a lot of threes. 238 threes. That's like one season's worth of threes. Yeah, I got no idea.
New Orleans Pelicans, huh?
Check this out. Damn it! I thought it was
Kenyon Martin.
Kevin Martin. Before his knees fell apart. You think Danny Granger is on here? Paul George probably is for the Pacers. Yeah, Danny Granger was on there.
So was Paul George. Okay, all right. Just forgetting some of those.
I'm trying to think of just stars around the league.
What about Westbrook?
Yeah, he's down there for the Thunder. Jeremy Lamb. Yeah, I got him somewhere.
Jeremy Lamb.
I don't know where I got him from. All right, Pelicans. So we got Eric Gordon, Darius Miller. Nothing else. What about the Knicks? Let's do the Knicks real quick.
Melo, Jr.
You think Steve Novak is in here? Yeah.
Jeremy Lin.
I don't think he's made that many threes. 498. 500 threes? He's making 500 threes.
That's a lot of threes. Not Amari. You already put J.R. Shumpdaddy?
Nope. He wasn't really making threes back then either. I'm going to skip those two. OKC, you got KD, Westbrook, George, Harden, Ibaka. Nope.
Everybody good on that team.
Yeah, I don't know where else we're gonna get. We're gonna get one there. Anyways, Magic. Hito Turkoglu was on here, but I can't spell his name, so we're gonna go Vucevic. Vucevic. Can you Google how to spell Vucevic? Is that cheating? I think it's cheating. Vucci main. Can I just Nicola?
Vucic.
Vucic.
Yes. Okay, that's wrong. So nope.
That's not how you spell Vucevic.
Nope.
Anyways, Phoenix Suns. You probably got Nash on. No, we don't have Nash on here.
Vucevic.
I see. Not Vucevic. I guess I'll die. 76ers. Redick, Hollis Thompson, 707 threes. You think Ben Gordon is on here somewhere? Nope.
Think Embiid's on there? No, not maybe 280.
No. 707 is a lot of threes. I don't know. Phoenix
Suns Booker.
Yep. Nash isn't on here. We got a minute 47.
Okay,
we got 3 more teams to get one.
Portland, do Dame. CJ. Yeah.
Yeah, 826. I don't know. Sacramento, IT. We could probably get Cousins in there. No, apparently not. Got Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, geez.
You think Dragic is on there somewhere? Yeah.
Goran.
Kings.
We're gonna have to go to those last 3. We'll go to those last 3, then we got a minute left.
Parker. No. Parker. No. No, I can't spell. Okay, Raptors. That's a lot of threes. Jason Capono.
Wow. You had it under a minute.
Sorry, I was laughing at my Jason Capono joke. Bargnani. Bargnani. I can't spell. Jazz. Mitchell. Okay, we got one at least. Wizards. Beal.
Wall. Yeah, bang! We got one for everybody.
I don't know who else was on the Wizards.
There's nobody else on that.
Bogdanovich was there for. All right, 30 seconds. Can we? Any stars you want me to just fill in here? Wade, no. Russell, no.
Any stars here? Put LeBron James.
James.
I couldn't tell you.
All right.
Avery Bradley.
So we missed. Wow. Okay. You did say that, and I ignored you. I'm sorry. So we got Kent Bazemore for the Hawks. Taurean Prince. I feel like I should have guessed that as a Nets fan, but that's okay. For the Celtics, we just missed Bradley. I swept the Nets, so kudos.
That's okay. Kudos to me. I said Bradley, but we said no to Bradley.
Yeah, that's fine. Charlotte, we got
Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Kirk Heinrich. Okay, so I got Kirk Heinrich. I just couldn't spell. I forgot Luol Deng existed, but here we go. Boobie Gibson. Down here.
Who?
Daniel Gibson. Boobie Gibson? No?
Yeah. Boobie Dixon.
Boobie Gibson. We missed Wes Matthews.
Yeah.
We also missed Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari, and Jamal Murray.
Wilson Chandler with 543s.
He was there a long time. Detroit, God, he was there. KCP. We also missed Charlie Villanueva. You know he got his toilet stolen once? You ever see that story?
Good for him. Good for him.
Okay. They literally just stole his toilet, nothing else. Anyways, Anthony Tolliver. So we realistically getting 2 out of 4, 5 of these, I'm happy with. We miss Andre Iguodala.
Trevor.
But not gonna lie, I skipped Trevor. I skipped Andre Iguodala because I can't spell Iguodala, so that's fine. Houston, we missed Ariza, Pat Bev, and Chandler Parsons. Indy, we missed George Hill and C.J. Miles.
C.J. Miles. Oh, my
The
God.
Lakers, we missed Nick Young, Meta World Peace, and then we would have got KCP again.
Yeah. O.J. Mayo.
O.J. Mayo. That's two quizzes that O.J. Mayo has came up, and we forgot that he existed.
He's got to be a Sporkle king.
Add
too.
O.J. Mayo to the Sporkle, first team all Sporkle, with Greg Monroe and David Lee. So now we got a guard. Rudy Gay. Miami, we missed Wayne the Drain Ellington.
I mean,
that is a nickname that I have given him when he was a member of the Nets.
Oh, my.
Josh Richardson. I almost typed in Richardson because I thought we were going to get Jason Richardson down here for the Suns, but apparently not. For the Bucks, we missed Chris Middleton. That's sad. Should have gotten that one.
That's pretty bad.
Brandon Jennings, Tony Snell, and Carlos Delfino. Miss
Ricky Rubio? Come on, he's not making 200. He's making 3 threes all year.
It's a 10-year span. So, so we got Ryan Anderson for the Pelicans, Drew Holiday, which we probably should have gotten. Etwan Moore, probably also could have gotten that one too. Miss Tim Hardaway. I feel bad for missing Kristaps. That's an obvious one for the Knicks.
I forget who he was on. I forget he was in New York.
We missed Thabo Cephalosha.
Thabo.
That's fine. I'll live with that. For the Magic, we missed Evan Fournier, Jameer Nelson, and Ryan Anderson again. So we would have got 2 Ryan Andersons if we forgot, if we remember that he played basketball. 76ers, we missed Rocco, Drew Holiday, and Dario Saric.
And Dario Saric.
Channing Frye and Jared Dudley for the Suns. I don't hate that. Trailblazers, we missed Wes Matthews and Alpha.
And the GOAT. Alpha Camino.
For the Kings, we miss Buddy Hield, Ben McLemore, Marcus Thornton, who also used to play for the Nets, and Omri Caspi. And then for the Spurs, we miss Manu because I can't spell, and we miss Matt Bonner, the Red Rocket.
Matt Boner.
The Red Rocket. This is a PG show. Raptors, we missed Terrence Ross, Patrick Patterson, DeMar DeRozan, who we probably should have got, but it's 3-pointer, so I didn't think DeMar DeRozan was thinking that many. 3, so that's fine. And Bargnani, who I can't spell, so that's okay. Jazz, we forgot that Gordon Hayward was once a Utah Jazz member.
Yes.
Joe Ingles, Rodney Hood, and Trey Burke. Those are some pretty bad misses there, I'll admit. Otto Porter, Trevor Ariza, and Martell Webster.
Who?
So looking at the dudes that we missed here, I really feel I feel bad about missing the obvious ones like Kristaps Porzingis. Would have got Ryan Anderson if we knew that he played basketball. If we got Kent, we would have gotten 2 more. Wesley Matthews, 2 more.
Yeah, we were close.
I am not upset that we missed. I am not upset that we missed Martell Webster. I am not upset that we missed Carlos Delfino.
Correct.
And I'm trying to look for more here.
Even Torian Prince, Daniel Gibson. I mean, Charlie Villanueva.
Yeah, that's bad. So yeah, I guess it's. That's all the time we got here. We got a 57.
I like that tab you got. I like that tab you got open. How tall is Jesus?
Yeah, I mean it's important information. we needed to know if Kuzma's shooting over Jesus, is it that much of a threat? The answer is no. Unless Jesus could turn the basketball into wine, then it's pretty bad. But yeah, I think that's all the time we have here. Do you have any closing thoughts, Nick?
Playoffs next week, baby. Let's rock.
Yeah, playoff next week. So I guess I'll use this time then to plug our own stuff here. Next week we're going to be previewing the Eastern and Western jam-packed playoffs. Hopefully everything is all set in stone. Nobody drops dead with an injury. Hopefully we have a phenomenal playoffs.
No doubt.
On here.
No doubt.
I think we covered everything around the league. I don't think I have anything additional to add here. So please tune in next week for our preview. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcasting app, albeit Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rate. Give us a review. Let us know what you think. Give us a 1-star rate. We'll read that 1-star rate, and I'll do better.
And guess what? It's a basketball podcast. We will rebound.
Yep.
you clean up the glass. You rebound.
Yep. We'll clean the glass. We'll clean the glass, and we'll put up like an ill-advised like tip in where you could probably just come down with it and like put it back up. But no, we'll just try to tip it in. We're stat padding. We're just gonna keep bouncing it off.
All about stat padding. All about stat padding.
So yeah, give us a review. Give us a comment. Apple Podcast, Spotify. Let us know what you think. My Twitter is @burner_of_Anthony. Nick, yours is @Nick Tobias, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Or it's Tobias_Nick. Not really too sure, to be honest with you. But
Either
if you follow
way.
Caps On Podcast,
Yep.
or if you follow Caps On Sports on Instagram, Twitter, you'll see us. We're on there all the time. Liking stuff, retweeting, chilling, making vlogs, doing what we got to do. Give us a follow. Give the squad a follow. Let us know what you guys think. We'll be back next week with
also, I'll plug Caps On Sports right now. We got some hockey stuff going on.
We do. We got hockey stuff going on. We got baseball going on. Obviously, we're covering our NBA stuff right here. Next week, when we preview the playoffs, we'll probably get a little bit. Listen, I want to talk some. We'll talk some gambling next week too. I think it's a good time to talk some gambling.
Yep. That's all. That's
squad.
all.
Squad up, baby. Let's rock.
All right, Nick. Until next time. Adios.
Tip of the cap.